Here's your warm-up. 4 runners go out for a jog. We're going to put them in order from the fastest to the slowest jogger, and there's their information. Nathan went 5.31 miles in 30 minutes. Nate went 10.92 miles in 70 minutes. Melanie went 18.8 miles in 100 minutes. And Joyce went 16.02 miles, 1600 too. That'd be fast. 16.02 miles in 90 minutes. Okay. Can I get you back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and put the cubes away, guys. Put the cubes away. We got stuff to accomplish here that don't have anything to do with that at the moment. Let's see what we got here. Put them away, guys. Put them away, or I'm coming for them. All right. Peyton, who's the fastest among these people? So we're going to put down Melanie as first. How many of us got Melanie as the fastest? Great. Put her down here. So Melanie is the fastest. Peyton, who is second fastest? Then it was Joyce. Okay. Then who? Then Nathan. And then who's last? Okay. Perfect. How did you get that, Peyton? What did you do? Okay, let's do that. Oh, I forgot. TI Smart View TM Emulator software for the TI-30X/TI-34 Multi-View TM calculators, Texas Instruments. I'm sorry I didn't sing to you that time and you broke. Thank you. Hang on. Thank you. Hang on. So you said you're going to divide the number of miles by the number of minutes. Yes. So let's see here. That's 5.31 miles in 30 minutes. 5.31 divided by 30, and that was 0.177, and that was Nathan. Okay. And then we look at Nate. 10.92 divided by 70. 10.92 divided by 70. 0.156 is Nate. Then Melanie is 18.8 divided by 100. Oh, I can do that. That's 0.188, isn't it? We did enough scientific notation for that to be not too bad, right? And then Joyce is 16.02 divided by 90. 16.02 divided by 90. Very good. 0.178. Cool. How many of us did it just the way that Peyton did? Did somebody do that a different way? Did somebody do that a different way? Teo, how did you do it? Oh, I see what you did. That's awesome. Yeah. Probably came out with some crazy numbers, but it would absolutely work. If you converted these all into 30 minutes, I love that. That's awesome. Did anybody do it a different way? Yeah, what did you do, Keenan?
So what I did is I divided the number of minutes by the number of miles.
Ah, so let's see what happened there. So 30 minutes divided by 30 divided by 5.31 it was? 5.31. That's 5.65, let's call it, about 5.65. And then that was Melanie, that was Nathan. There we go. And then Nate was 70 divided by 10.92. 70 divided by 10.92. Did you happen to get the same order, Keenan? Did you get the same order?
Yeah.
Cool. 6.41 about. Good, good. Melanie's 100 divided by 18.8. I certainly don't know that one. Ah! Hey, what? Don't do that. 5.32 about. And then Joyce was 90 divided by 16.02. Now I want you to notice something. 5.618. We'll have to do that. 5.62. There we go. Did anybody else do it Keenan's way? Here's the thing that I think is interesting is that you guys got the same answer, but you did it a different way. But here's the part that's weird. Melanie was the fastest because she had the highest number here when we did it Peyton's way. But Melanie was the fastest because she had the lowest number when we did it Keenan's way. How the heck does that work? Why does the bigger number better when we do it Keenan's way and the smaller number's better? Sorry, why is the smaller number better when we do it Keenan's way and the bigger number better when we do it when we do it Peyton's way? Talk it out first. Teach, teach.
Because the miles bigger you can say how many miles it ran in a minute. So if it's 4 miles plus 4 minutes.
Okay, can I get you back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Frankie, why was Melanie having a high number good when we did it Peyton's way and a high number bad when we did it Keenan's way?
Because if you do it Peyton's way, more miles in a no wait more more miles in a minute is better because just because
It means you went more miles in a minute. It's kind of like what Teo did, but with only 1 mile instead of 30 minutes.
yeah, and Keenan's way is because you want less minutes to run a mile.
Yeah, exactly so. So here's the secret thing that was going on that you might not have realized. Got a pencil?
Absolutely.
When you did 18.8 divided by 100, you forgot something really important. You forgot your units. What we really did was we did 18.8 miles divided by 100 minutes, which gives us 0.188, and these two just stay in a fraction, miles per minute. That's a unit rate. That's saying that Melanie is able to run 0.188 miles in 1 minute. Now, if you do the minutes divided by the miles, then it starts to look a little bit more like what we do with like sports statistics, and you do 100 minutes divided by 18.8 miles, you get something in the neighborhood of, was it 5.72? 5.32. 5.32 minutes per mile. Which is interesting because Keenan was the only person who did this. But how many of us find the statistics 5.32 minutes per mile more helpful than 0.188 miles per minute? How many of us find that more helpful? I think a lot of us do, because now we have an idea of how long it would take for them to run a mile. By the way, these are all screaming mile times. So before people are like, everyone's always like, whoever the Nate is in the story, they're like, oh, Nate's slow. A 6.5 minute mile is pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good. Yes, Jacob.
So the city I lived in back in the UK, it's called Oxford, and
Mm-hmm.
in Oxford, a long time ago, like in like the 1960s, there was this guy called Roger Bannister, and
Okay.
he was the first person to ever run a 4 minute mile,
That's awesome.
and the track he ran the 4 minute mile on was right next to my school, and we'd go there for swimming lessons and running and stuff,
Oh, that's
on like
awesome.
sports days.
So you ran on that track?
Yeah,
How cool is that?
and yeah, he was my hero.
That's way awesome. So really, his Sir, what was his name again?
Sir Roger Bannister.
Sir Roger. That's a great knight name, Sir Roger Bannister. That just sounds right. Yeah, see, Sir Thomas Petersen just doesn't have a good ring to it. Not the same way. Not the same way. I mean, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it all comes down to the units. Let's talk, guys. So it's the 75th day of school. Did you guys know that not counting the infinite classes of prisms and antiprisms, there are exactly 75 possible uniform polyhedra? What a uniform polyhedra is it's a polygon. It's a polyhedron that is made up only of regular polygons. So like squares are okay, but just any old rectangle's not. Like if I made a cube, that's a regular. Those are 6 regular polygons as faces, and it's also a prism. So it's one of the infinite classes. If you ever want to look at them, they're right up there. It's the prisms and antiprisms aren't numbered because those are the you can make an infinite number of prisms or antiprisms, but the rest of them we know all 75 of the shapes that we can make. Yep, that's one of them. Oh sure, there's also a truncated I forget them all. They all have crazy names and they're all super fun to draw and very difficult. I'm surprised nobody asked me what an antiprism is. I was expecting to have to answer that question for you. An antiprism. Well, an antiprism is, so you know, like with a prism, if I made a square prism, it would be like this, right? Where it's rectangles connecting two squares, right? But an antiprism is what that is that if we instead connect the corners with a triangle, there would be a square on the bottom. It's actually incredibly difficult to draw, and I recommend that you look at that poster at some point today, and you can see the anti-prism. They did a much better job drawing them than I did. It's the International Day of the Monkey. Yay! Let's see here. What is our first essential question? And I would love to get that from Anna. What's our first essential question, Anna? Yeah, what is unit rate? And how do I calculate it? I am recording, aren't I? Oh, good. All right, and then what's our next essential question? Let's get that one from Nitty. Just how expensive is the world's most expensive toilet paper? It's true. Well, let's find out. So, by the way, Jeopardy, what this acronym stands for, ASAP, that's as soon as possible. And at the fair, that is indeed a pig. That is indeed a pig. That's a pig. Okay. Underneath all this, got a pencil? Today we're talking about unit rate plus toilet paper equals learning. My father, Dr. Petersen, he came in here the other day because on Friday he went to go watch the play that Autumn was in, and a lot of you guys were in as well. And I was like, you should see my classroom. And he's looking at around it, and my mom is there, and she's like, oh, this is just so lovely. You have such a nice classroom right here. And my father walks straight up to my very messy desk, and he picks up my time card for you guys. And he goes, "What's this?" And I say, "Well, these are the people. This keeps track of what we're learning in the week, and that's actually my GT class, the class of kids taking 7th and 8th grade math in the same year, so they're really smart." And he looks at it and he goes, "Unit rate and toilet paper pricing. I see you're teaching them important things." And I was just like, "Oh, my dad can still scare me, and I'm 38." Okay. So anyway, just so you know, now you'd be surprised. Like of all the accents I can do, my parents are both Danish, and I can't do a Danish accent. I have no idea why. I have no idea why. But anyway, moving right along, guys. You guys ever been to the store and like you know your parents are like looking at what toilet paper to buy, and they're like looking at this giant bag that's like $30 and then a smaller bag that's $20, and they're like scratching their head. How many of us have seen our parents doing this and like wondering which one to buy? Yeah, and what they're doing is they're trying to figure out which one are you getting the most bang for your buck? Like which one's the better deal? Because yeah, the $30 one might be more expensive, but if you have enough more toilet paper, it makes it worth it, right? It makes it worth it. And what they're doing is they're calculating unit rate. And here's the thing. There's a little sticker on there that tells you the unit rate. You know what I'm talking about? Like it actually tells you how much it is per roll. But sometimes that sticker is like negative helpful. I've seen it before where it's like there's a roll of 30 toilet papers and there's a price tag on it. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to do the math right now. What do they have? And they say toilet roll package, $30 per each. Right, because each package is $30. They didn't bother to do the unit rate. And then it's like, oh, okay, fine. But then that usually don't have it per package. What do they usually have? They usually have it per. Well, what's the unit of a toilet paper package? A roll. A roll. Now here's the thing. They can still cheat you, though, couldn't they? Because even if you're getting the best price per roll, does that mean you're getting the best price per, well, I don't know. What should we measure it in? What should we measure it in? Why don't you guys talk to each other about that? What do you think would be the best way to do it? Teach! Okay. Can I get you in five, four, three, two, one? What do you guys think might be a better way to measure that by raise a hand? What do you think might be a better way to measure that, Luke? Well, like what unit though? Because honestly, per package, that's a unit rate. $30 per package, that is a unit rate. What do you think, Jacob?
By weight.
By weight, like per gram, perhaps? Per gram? I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Caitlin, you have something? Per square, perhaps? Although I tell you, if they, I don't think toilet paper does this, and I actually don't think it would be very helpful. If it was the same as you know how your paper towel rolls have select a size? No, no, that's something nobody wants on toilet paper, I don't think. Andre.
Okay. Like you calculate the length of each toilet paper roll completely rolled out, and then how much.
You got it. Per square inch, you mean?
Yes.
Well, let's go ahead and do some investigating here. Because today, guys, we're talking about unit rate and luxury living. Guys, I looked it up, and how expensive is the most expensive toilet paper? It turns out fairly expensive. Guys, I took the luxury of luxury. I took the luxury of looking up the most expensive toilet paper available for sale, and I found it here. There is a brand of toilet paper that sells like, honestly, you could probably unroll this and sleep under it. Like, it is just like apparently like the nicest stuff you can get, and it comes in all kinds of colors. Which, yeah, I know, I'm into that. I'm into that. Sure, absolutely. Skip the middleman. This pack of 3 rolls of Renova brand luxury toilet paper in purple comes at the price of $16.50. $16.50 for a package of 3 rolls of toilet paper. So what is the price per roll? Give it a shot, and here we go. Fill in the blank. I blank want this. Teach. Oh, that was most of you guys really want this. Okay. And it doesn't have to be purple. You can make it whatever color you want.
Wait, would this be correct, or do the colors still have to be there?
They like it's very difficult to draw. What happens is that the point comes off of that corner and creates a square on the other side. It's really hard to draw. Take a look at that when you leave today. You'll find them under anti-prisms.
A diamond coated toilet paper.
That does not sound comfortable. That does not sound like something I would like to use. Okay. Can I get you back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Let's see here. Luke, what could we do to find out the amount this costs per roll? Awesome. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to do 16.5, so $16.50, $16.5 divided by 3 rolls. And I do want you guys to actually write that down because unit rate is, not surprisingly, all about units. It's right there. Unit and rate. The units here are dollars per roll. Dollars per roll. And then what was the number, Luke? About $5.50 per roll. How many of us got $5.5 per roll? Perfect. Excellent work. You guys are doing an awesome job. I think you guys do deserve a point for this. All right, let's see here. But wait, there's more, because again, not all rolls are created equally. Not all rolls are created equally. Each roll has 180 sheets. I found it right there on the website. Each roll has 180 sheets. So what is the price of this stuff per sheet? That's what Caitlin was wondering. How much is the price of this stuff per sheet? Talk to each other and let's see how that goes. Teach, teach. Okay. Can I get you back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? So it's 180 sheets per roll. So what can I do to find out how much this stuff costs per sheet? Andrew, what can I do to find out how much it costs per sheet? Now, can you say that again, but with the units inside of it? The units are very important here. Perfect. That's exactly what you do. Very good. Now, here's the thing. Units, it turns out, act just like any mathematical object, and it's kind of cool. What is 5.5 divided by 180? Let's call it about 0.003. Is that what you guys got? Is that, oh, 0.30, maybe too many zeros. How about 0.03? So it's 3 cents a square, which I don't know. I'm like imagining looking at a square of toilet paper and imagine that costs 3 cents. I'm like, 3 cents isn't very much. But then you like look at the roll and you're like, hmm. But look what happens to the units. Something kind of amazing happens to the units here, because when we divide the units, what do I do when I divide fractions? How am I supposed to manage that? Chris, do you remember? What do I do when I divide fractions? That's right. You keep the one on top as dollars over rolls. You flip the other one into rolls over sheets, and then you change it to multiplication. But look at that. Rolls cross divides. They cross divide out to 1, meaning that I get dollars per sheet, which is exactly what I wanted. How many of us thought that was kind of magical? That's kind of magical, right? That's kind of cool that the math that we make sense in our head actually turns out to be perfectly fine if we treat those units as mathematical objects. But wait, we're not done yet. I know. Because it turns out each sheet is 4.5 inches by 4 inches. So they're not actually squares, which really bugs me. Just bugs me as a math person. But each sheet is 4.5 by 4 inches. So what is the price of this stuff per square inch? Give it a try, and here we go. That's too much. Teach. Yes.
How do I figure out thingy for a sheet?
So a sheet is. Oh, so you mean that last one that we did?
Yes.
Okay, sure thing. So we know that it's $5.50 per roll, but we know that every roll has 180 sheets. So we can do 5.5 divided by 180. Specifically, $5.50 per roll divided by 180 sheets per roll. And then you just do 5.5 divided by 18. It's just like when we were dividing things in scientific notation. We can divide these two and then divide these two. So you do the regular numbers, then do your units. Perfect. And that's about 3 cents. We had to round it a little bit. So you did do it correctly. We just rounded it a little bit. So you're in great shape, Caitlin. You're good. Okay, let's hustle. Let's get there in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Nitty, what did you get? How did you do this? What was the first thing that you did? Oh, excellent. Each sheet. And how did you do that? Perfect. Thank you. On our way. So that's perfect. And you know what? Since this is really a game of units, we're going to make sure I put the units in there too. So you do 4.5 inches times 4, and that got you, 4 inches, excuse me. And that's 18, and I can put the inches together just like when we were multiplying our power rules, inches squared. So now we're going to divide $0.03 per sheet by 18 inches squared per sheet. You do that number, 0.03 divided by 18. I get 0.0016. So that's about 0.0017. And then look what happens here, guys. That's dollars over sheets times sheet over inch squared. Sheets are gone, which means we get dollars per inch squared. How many of us were able to get that? How many of us were able to get that? Excellent. And by the way, so that means that like if you're like dad's shaving, right? Like and then they like cut their face, they take a little square of toilet paper and plop that on there. Do you guys have seen that happen before? You guys have seen that maybe? So it costs them like almost a fifth of a penny to do that. Which isn't too bad because I don't cut myself shaving that often, mostly because I don't shave. Anyway. So Renova toilet paper is, in fact, the most expensive toilet paper available for sale because there is toilet paper that is even more expensive. That is absolutely correct, guys. There is an Australian artist who has way too much money and time on his hands who actually made a roll of golden toilet paper. For real. Yes. Yes. It is not like a sheet of pure gold that looks like toilet paper. You guys, he made this extremely luxurious, like plushed toilet paper and laid gold leaf, which is soft like cloth, onto it so that it is actually usable. And to my knowledge, it didn't get used. I sure hope it didn't. But my understanding is that it would function as regular toilet paper just fine. Peyton. Oh, for sure. We'll live like kings, boys. All right. Okay. There is gold toilet paper that is more expensive, but seriously, golden toilet paper? So, how many people, if you knew this existed and you had access to it, give it a shot? Like everybody. Like everybody. There's a few people who are like, do you know what? Like, all I would see as I flushed a golden toilet paper down the toilet is like sad, starving children. Like, that's all I'd see. Like, I can't do it. Now, it turns out, guys, and you have no idea how many weird and uncomfortable and expensive calls this took to get, like, to Australia. I was on the phone with some people who were very confused about why I wanted to talk to them. But I did find out what it was sold for. I couldn't find out who bought it. We have some guesses, though, I think. I don't know who actually bought this stuff, but it was sold at auction. So, guys, there are not 3 of these in the world, but if there was a roll of 3 of them, like a package of 3 of them, it would cost 3.9 times 10 to the 6 dollars. So, how much is this toilet paper per roll? Teach! I don't know. I don't know who bought it. They wouldn't tell me. It was bought at auction, though.
You actually like talked to the guy who made it?
No, I talked to the someone who works for the auction house in Australia where it was sold,
How much is it for?
which involved being up very late at night, and again being like, I teach math in Utah. Why? Like
Petersen. That costs 3,900,000
for a pack of three.
for a pack of three.
That's a pack of three. How much is one? That's what it sold for. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Can I get you back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Yeah, it would be 3,900,000 per package. Yeah, I know. Sorry, pack. And you get a pack of three. There's 3 rolls per pack. So what am I going to do with these numbers to find out how much it is per roll? What am I going to do with these numbers to find out how much it is per roll, Clara? Well, that's okay. What can I do? If it's $3,900,000 per pack, and there's 3 rolls in every pack, how much would it cost for a single roll? 3,900,000. I know it's staggering because we're talking about toilet paper. And that's dollars per pack. Yep. Yeah. And that's not too bad. 3 million. Well, I mean, it's the price is really bad, but the math's not too bad. 1,300,000, and then you do dollars per pack times pack per roll. Those divide out, and you get dollars per roll. How many of us are able to get $1,300,000 per roll? Yeah, but how many sheets are on this thing? It actually has 250 sheets on it. That's a better deal. That's not bad. Hey, guys, you're getting way more toilet paper on this one from the other one. Maybe it's a better deal? So how much is this stuff per sheet? Teach, teach. There you go. Oh, I will. Here we go. Let's get ready to dance. Whoops. Boy, it's even quite a lot. Like, if my memory serves, this might be about what I make in a year. I don't remember the number. So I know that it's 1,300,000, like per sheet, per roll, dollars per roll, and there's 250 sheets per roll. Okay, let's get up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anna, how can I calculate how much this is per sheet? And then don't forget your units, dollars per roll. And on your self-assessment, the units are going to play a really big part on it. Divided by 250 sheets per roll. Which, what did that wind up giving you, Anna? Oh, I do make more than that in a year. But, yeah. I definitely, like, if I went home to the missus with one of those and was like, look what I bought, a sheet of golden toilet paper. She'd be like, that's neat. How much was it? And I was like, $5,200. She'd be like, you take that back. You take that back right now. Go ahead, Eddie. Ah, I love it. And you could absolutely do that. 1.3 times 10 to the 6th, and then 5.2 times 10 to the 3rd would also work. Very good. Now, of course, guys, we have to go there. It turns out that 4.5 inches by 4 inches is an industry standard, that all toilet paper is that way. That All toilet paper pretty much is 4.5 inches by 4 inches. Heaven help us if you're like, let's say your mom's shaving her legs and then she cuts herself shaving and takes a little square of the golden toilet paper and goes, well, yeah, what did that just cost your family? Talk to each other, and here we go. Mom, no! Teach!
It costs your family the price of repairing your eyes after seeing your doctor.
What?
Squares, why do we call them squares?
I don't like that either. I don't like that either. That's why I called them sheets. That's why I called them sheets.
It basically costs us $289.
That's like a really big family dinner.
I'm asking.
Because it's made of gold.
I'm asking for this from Chrissy.
Yes. Good luck. There's only one roll of it, and I don't know who bought it. I have a feeling their last name might rhyme with Tusk, though. It's going to be maybe my guess. Or maybe that's why Jeff Bezos split with the missus, is she came home and found this, and she was like, I'm out. Like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Oh, for the guy who made it, like, I want to know, like, I mean, that's wild. And I mean, if you know, like, I don't know much about the process of, like, inlaying gold leaf, but I think it's a process. And to do that to that many square inches, that's a thing. That's a thing. Yes? Yay! Oh, yes, I love that. All right, come on up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if we take our $5,200 per sheet and then divide it by the, thankfully the same number, 18 inches squared per sheet, what do we wind up getting? Let me see if I can get a little bit of help, and that's going to come from Melanie. What do we wind up getting? So we'll call about 89 cents. Yep. Like a really fancy dinner for 5 people. Just to cover up that little spot that you cut yourself when you were shaving. I know. You know what I think is awesome is hold on, Trace. In fact, I'm going to put Trace here on the starboard for doing that because that's cool, Trace. Trace, what is it you figured out? You want to see something cool? Watch this. Here we go. So we know it's $288.89 per inch squared. And then we divided that by how much it costs for a roll, right? Well, and what was that? $5.50? $5.5 per roll, right? And by the way, this is inch squared of gold, which I think is AU, right? And then roll purple, which is PU. And then, so 288.89 divided by 5.5 was what? So about 52.6. And look what happens to the units. Dollars per inch squared AU times roll PU for purple divided by dollars. The units actually followed what Trey said. You can get 52.6 rolls PU per inch squared AU. How cool is that? How many of us think that's pretty cool that units act that way? I love it. Anyway, there is a self-assessment, guys. There is a self-assessment tonight, but these are the last 5 minutes. We're just about out of time. It's not available yet. I'm going to try and put it up during fourth. Go ahead, guys. Put your calculators away. Head back to your assigned seat, and I'll dismiss you with the bell. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Does PU mean purple?
Purple, yeah, yeah. I just thought it was a funny pun on gold is AU and purple is PU. Not that it stinks. I mean, although in comparison